The game session is about to start.
Hey everyone, it's Exodias here. How are you all doing? I bet you're all doing pretty good. And welcome to my Q&A answers video, part 1. Yes, I had to split it up into parts because when I originally tried to do it, it was running over to 30 and 40 minutes of a Q&A answers, so I thought, okay, I'll have to split it. So let's get straight onto it. But actually, first of all, I do want to say thank you to everybody who did submit questions. There were some very interesting questions, and there were some amusing questions. But anyway, on with the show, as they say. And the first question was from Rayrayshm. I'm really sorry. I know I suck with names, but I do apologise if I say your name wrong. But anyway, Rayrayshm asked me, what is my favourite character from ACB, ACR, AC3 and AC4? And for ACB, it's really easy. I loved the Harlequin. I just loved his kill animations, and you know the walk that he does. It's kind of a walk saying "I don't give a shit" kind of thing, as he's walking along and bobbing. You know, his little jig when he walks. But yes, and also the officer, he is also a very close favourite in AC Brotherhood. For ACR, it's got to be the Lady Trickster, purely because of her taunts. I mean, her taunts are absolutely amazing. Her favourite taunt for me is "Destiny awaits you." The first time I heard that, I just cracked out laughing because it was just. I couldn't believe she said something like that. But also, she does also say, or I think it is, "God, you're scum," or something like that. I know she says something like that. I could never quite figure it out. But yes, for AC3, the red coat, she's pretty badass. And yeah, I mean, I wasn't all that keen on any of the AC3 characters, but if I had to pick a favourite, it would be the red coat. And for AC4, I really enjoy the Rebel, but that's only because she reminds me of the Lady Trickster from ACR. So yes, there we have it. Those are my favourite characters at the moment. Anyway, they are subject to change. Kika93 asked me, why did I choose the name Exodias? And Kika, I think I've told you this before, but anyway, I'll tell you again. So obviously, besides playing AC multiplayer, I do also play an MMO. And for anybody who doesn't know what MMO is, it's massively multiplayer online. And I started playing this particular MMO around 7 years ago. The MMO, by the way, is Final Fantasy XI, which was the first Final Fantasy online game. It is an old game. It's about 11 years old now. But like I say, I've been playing it for 7 years, roughly. And when I first signed up to play, I created my character and I picked the job or the class that I wanted to play as. And then it asked me to name my character, and I just could not think of a name for my character. And I was stood there in this character creation screen, and I was just getting so frustrated because I'm crap with names. So I was like, okay, I'm just going to use the auto-generate and see what that does for me. And I think after like maybe 20 pages of going through all these different random names, I finally saw Exodias come up. And as soon as I saw it, I liked it instantly. And I thought, okay, I will roll with that one. So everything I do now, with gamer tags and things, I always use Exodias, because it is kind of unique, if you can get past the whole UGO thing. But yes, like I say, Exodias, that is how I came up with the name. And yes, I always use it in my gamer tags and IDs and things. LaDecima asked me, what is the difference between PC and Xbox players? Decima, this is a very good question. And it's something that you did actually make me think about, and I did think about it kind of hard. And when it really boils down to it, there isn't much difference between the players. you still get your roofers and your OSBers and all that jazz. But the thing with the PC is, because obviously it's such a small community, everybody who plays AC multiplayer has got the whole 3 degrees of separation going on. But yeah, I mean, I think it's just the community size that is the difference. So yes, your runners and OSBers, they're everywhere, LaDecima. Everywhere. And TheRusyReaper asked me, why does nobody play on the DLC maps, and do I have a mentor that I look up to? Sorry, I was watching my kiddie doing something stupid. So I think as far as the nobody playing on the DLC maps on PC thing goes, is because when we had ACR, obviously ACR was the first multiplayer where they actually charged us money to be able to play on these extra content maps, and I think a lot of people weren't happy about having to pay for these maps, including myself. So it was kind of, on the PC side, only a small percentage of the players actually bought the DLC maps, and I think that is why, because obviously only a small percentage and nobody could find sessions on these maps because there wasn't enough people playing. And I think the same thing happened with AC3. People kind of remembered what happened in ACR, and they were just like, yeah, I am not going to bother buying the AC3 DLC map pack. And I don't blame them, because we shouldn't have to pay, you know, for these few extra maps. If it was 10 or 15 maps, then yeah, I can understand paying for it. But just for the small handful of maps that they give us, no, I don't agree with paying. But thankfully, in AC4, we have got free DLC maps, so thank you, Ubisoft. And also, TheRusyReaper asked me, do I have a mentor that I look up to? This will sound horrible. I don't have a particular mentor that I look up to or that I aspire to be. For me, it's more of a case of, if I watch players playing and I see that they are doing good things with how they play, I will have respect for them. And you know, if they're respectful to other players and they know how to play the game good, I'm more of that kind of person. Yes, don't get me wrong, there is people that have done like tutorials and things, and I think, yes, that's a really good thing that you've done for the community and things. So I will try and adopt certain techniques from other players, but I don't have one particular mentor. So yes, that was that one. Arcane1122 asked me, what one change would I make to AC4? And Arcane, this is so simple. I would bring back the chases and the escape sequences, because at the moment, the way the contract system can punish you in AC4, I think it's almost impossible to hide from a pursuer when you can just see them speeding at you 100 miles an hour. And I do honestly believe that removing chases was one of the worst things that they could have done, because we just have no way to escape from our pursuers. You know, we can stun 2 of them, maybe with abilities that we're using, but then if you have 4 and 5 pursuers, you're still going to have 2 or 3 after you've stunned 2. And there's just no way for you to get away from them or to shake them off. So yes, I would bring back chases. And for the last question of this match, is from Kevina Santiago, and he asked me, how old am I and what is my real name? This is nice and easy. I'm an old man. I'm actually 33 years old. Yes, I'm one of the more mature Assassin's Creed multiplayer players. And my real name is Neil. Sorry, I don't want to give away my surname because I'm really weird about handing out my full name. But yes, so that has been part 1 of my Q&A answers. Like I say, I will be doing more, but for the meantime, I hope you enjoy divulging some of this information. Not divulging, digesting, that is the word. and I will be uploading later on this week with part 2. I think it's going to be split into 4 different sessions with all the questions and answers, because some of the answers are kind of long. And like I say, I didn't want to make my Q&A answers extremely long as far as the video goes, so I thought it's best to split it up a little bit. So thank you everybody for the questions you've asked me so far. You can still ask me some questions if you want to. Just ask anything you like, and I will answer them to the best I can. But in the meantime, this has been Exodias playing some Wanted in AC4, and until next time guys, take care everybody, and bye for now.